Moving on to another topic, our now recent stats on rural crime say that 2/3 of farmers have either been attacked or robbed.
Yes, our next guest is one of these farmers who was robbed of a life's work over 2 consecutive nights. We're very happy to have Robert O'Shea with us, and also to welcome back Sergeant Tony Davis. Hi, Tony.
Good to
Hi,
see you
Robert.
guys.
Nice to meet you. Robert, it's a dreadful story, one we hear more and more of, but it's unbelievable what happened to you, especially that I know that sadly you had just buried your mother a couple of days before. Bring us back.
It was August 14 actually. My mother was buried on the 14th, on the Thursday. On Saturday night I had my first visit. People came in around the place, we reckon 5 or 6, I'd say, on both nights, on both occasions. Looking back on it, they came in, they took a certain amount of stuff, I'd say, whatever they had transport for. I didn't know anything about it until Sunday morning after Mass. My next door neighbour happened to say to me that the barrier in front of his gate was down. Did I know anything about it? It just clicked with me then that it was after being done.
You know, I found amazing, just reading the notes about you, that they had actually managed to put bales of hay into the river or in front of you so they could drive out with all the... Did you not hear anything?
Nothing. You see, where the bales of straw were was actually down at the back of the farmyard.
OK, so that's a good bit away from your house.
And the farmyard itself is approximately 100 metres away.
Yeah.
So there was no, and there's actually 5 houses overlooking my farmyard, and nothing was noticed on either occasion. Now on the Sunday night then they came back again. Now no one expected them to come back, and even on the Sunday evening I had discovered the bales of straw. I removed those. You see, they were there in case that anyone disturbed them. They had an easy means of egress.
So this is very, very well planned.
Oh, absolutely, yeah absolutely.
These weren't fellas now who were just driving around the countryside and happened to come onto the place and away we go. This was well cased, if you like.
Yeah.
And do you believe they were watching and they realised your mother had passed away? You'd be at a funeral, all that?
There was definitely local influence in it, definitely.
Really?
Nothing convinces me otherwise. Like, I mean, come back again on the Sunday night. Say what happened actually on the Saturday night, they discovered how amount of stuff that was actually there available.
Because you were an agricultural contractor as well, so this was your business as well as a farm.
And Tony, this is too common, I'm afraid, these days, is it?
Yeah, this is unusual actually. The fact that you have been robbed twice so soon. You know, I suppose when you talk about a farm, it's a business as well as a home. So it's a little different. Like most burglaries are opportunistic, where with a business it's more planned. So somebody would probably go and case a place like that, have certain knowledge that there's products there that they can steal and get rid of very quickly. Whereas with an ordinary home, it will be opportunistic. It will be just the easiest target. With a business, it's very different.
These fellas aren't going in with sticks and stones either, now, because we can actually have a look at a picture of what they brought with them.
This is the terrifying thing.
So this is actually, you found afterwards, do you think that they were about to attack you with these things? There's a pickaxe and what else? Saw?
They saw a slash hook and a pitchfork. Like, in actual fact, that's the gate, that's the doorway into my workshop at the time.
Did they take that out of your workshop?
No, they were my tools. No, they were
yours. Okay, so they were utilising your tools.
They had them assembled at the door there. That if anyone, at 3:30 in the morning, myself and 3 Gardaí found those.
Yeah. So if you went down there while they were there,
that's what I'd have meant.
We know what's going to happen.
I wouldn't be here today.
You wouldn't be here
today. Do you believe that, Tony?
I think the important thing is that he didn't go down, and he did the right thing, that he didn't go down. The important thing is that you mind yourself and your family and you stay away. I suppose I played a bit of sport, and visualisation is a huge part in sport. And if there was somebody outside your house, you must think about what will you do, how will you react. And if you just go through it beforehand, you'll actually react instinctively afterwards what you went through. But you did the right thing. Call 999, make sure that you give the correct location where you are and wait for help. If you go down there, obviously this is well planned. They had an escape route planned. And they were ready to use these if you came along. So you're better off not confronting these people.
But even if you go down there, say if you happen to have even a weapon in the house yourself, Tony, they could end up taking it off you.
But you see, absolutely. Look, you can replace property, Robert. I know it's an awful thing to say that now, right? Longer term, you can replace that. But you can't replace your own safety or your family. If you get hurt, you could be in hospital. It could affect you the rest of your life. You're better off, if you can scare them away, but keep yourself safe, and you're safe inside in your house. You know.
Did you ever have anything like that, Robert? Ever on your farm? Did you ever encounter any like mini crimes or anything like that?
Look, I was robbed. When I look back on it, like, it is amazing. A lot of farmers are in the very same boat as myself. When I look back on it, I said that was my first time. But when I thought about it, it wasn't. I had a trailer stolen a number of years before, and I had a power washer taken. They were just 2 big items that I missed.
So people were trespassing on your land before?
This is the problem. Like, you see, especially agricultural contractor farmer. A farm is an open environment. Now, unfortunately, and I say unfortunately, like I've 20,000 spent on security since, but one of those things is a sliding gate, which is closed at all times. I've the combination to open it on my phone or whatever.
Okay.
But before that, my premise was open.
So people could drive in the yard?
Look, it's quite a neighbourhood. You know, it's what happens in every neighbourhood. It's unfortunate. As a contractor, I worked actually a lot with DSB and Aircom back through the years, and we found that the nearer we went to Dublin, the more we encountered these sliding gates. Now, unfortunately, these sliding gates are moving down the country because crime has moved down the country.
And with motorways and everything like this, we talked about this before.
They're on the motorway straight away.
They're straight on the motorway. So escape. And these people were never apprehended. They weren't.
No, it's, in fact, when you go into an environment and look at, let's say, gates, high walls and stuff like that, you can nearly determine the chances of crime in the area by the environment you're in. Because in a rural place, you shouldn't have to have gates, but you must have them, particularly in a farm. And a farm, the perimeter of a farm is very hard to secure.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Robert earlier on.
Tony.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But Robert now has put concrete bollards to stop people from coming in. But it's still very hard to secure the perimeter of your farm. And security is like an onion. What you want minded most is placed at the centre. So your perimeter fencing, your alarms, and then your locks, which are very, very important. And a gate is the most important thing, because to stop somebody driving in, okay, somebody can come in and steal the items, but if they can drive into your yard, they can load up and go away with them.
But isn't the thing about it, say, if you can break into your own property, that's a bad sign, Tony, isn't it? We spoke about this before.
Yeah, that's
and you know, say, and very simple thing, say, if you lose your keys or anything, but if you can break into your own property, somebody else can as well.
Exactly.
Robert, how did this affect you and your family psychologically?
Well, look, I say even to this day, I was extremely lucky that it wasn't inside my door or inside my mother's house. Now, it had to be in my mother's house. My mother was only buried 2 days previous. It would have been detrimental. At least I could look at it was in the workshop, it was in the farmyard. Now, I'm not making little of it, but I consoled myself that way, in such a way. Now, I suppose on the other side, on the positive side, trying to turn negatives into positive, I then got involved with a committee of 12, 15 to form an organisation called Save Our Local Community. Each one of those committee members are a victim of crime. And we got together, we held a massive meeting in Thurles in October 15.
I remember that, yeah.
There was 2,000 people at that meeting. And that committee is still going good today. We consider ourselves a pressure group. We have met with the Minister, we've met with the Fianna Fáil representatives.
What are you asking them? What are you asking when you meet these people?
Basically, at the moment, we've had a number of I suppose, wins, if you like. We'd like to think that Operation Thor and the reform of the Household Burglary Act were as a direct result of that meeting in Thurles and of our pressure. We have since looked for electronic monitoring. We have looked for reform of the bail laws. We consider that the whole justice system needs to be reformed big time. And like more resources for the Gardaí as well as that. Now, some more have come, and I even note there in the last couple of days that I said there's another 800 Gardaí coming on stream next year, which is definitely needed.
Okay.
Just before we go, Tony, we've only 1 minute left for people watching here. Of course, the evenings are going to be getting longer. What can people do to protect their homes?
Well, I suppose you just have a sign of occupancy, particularly this time of the year. Simple things you can do, like when it gets into the word, use your lights, lock up properly. I just wanted to talk about one thing in this. It's a socially monitored alarm, the senior alert scheme that's out in the community. These are little pendant alarms that older people, older people can have. In fact, Pobble.ie supply them. It's a government organisation. Voluntary groups or charity groups locally register with Pobble.
Pobble.ie.
Pobble.ie. They can apply on behalf of individuals, and these are free. The only thing you have to pay for is the monitoring. And they're fantastic to keep people safe in their own home.
Perfect. That's Pobble, that's the senior alarm scheme. We're going to put all that up on our Facebook page as well.
SaveOurLocalCommunity.com is our website
address. That's yours, of course.
So that up on our Facebook as well.
I am a VOC at gmail.com is our email address.
Brilliant.
I am a VOC.
Guys, thank you very much. Great to have you again.
Thank you.